quick disclaimer before we get into this one. I don't have the exact 60 cards that Ondrej had in his World Championship deck. I'm short one Hisuian Decidueye because it's really expensive to trade for right now, and I really didn't feel like doing it. So my build that I show in this video has one less Hisuian Decidueye VSTAR and one more Arceus VSTAR. But when you copy paste the deck list from this video, which you can get in the description below, it will be Ondrej's 60. All right, back to the video. Thanks for the support, by the way. The Pokemon Trading Card Game World Championships have just completed, and congratulations to Ondrej Skubal for having an amazing performance, taking the championship home. And he did so by playing this deck. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Ondrej's championship deck. The core of the deck is Arceus, which of course, phenomenal Pokemon, pretty high HP, can attack for decent damage, accelerate to the bench, Star Birth to grab whatever 2 cards you want. Phenomenal Pokemon on its own. But it's also built kind of to beat the tournament meta right now with Flying Pikachu VMAX, which hits Palkia for weakness, is able to one-hit KO Palkia, while Palkia isn't really built to one-hit KO Flying Pikachu in return. And then the other card, which was kind of surprising, Hisuian Decidueye. And its inclusion is primarily to attack Arceus, where it, with Somersault Feathers, it has the ability to one-hit KO Arceus if there isn't a Dunsparce in play, which at the time of the tournament, a number of players had been taking Dunsparce out of their decks for the foreseeable future. I would suspect that Dunsparce is going to come back to make this card a little less effective. Nevertheless, you're still hitting for weakness when Dunsparce isn't in effect, and even the regular Hisuian Decidueye V is kind of handy because it's got the move Close Quarters Shooting, which does 100 damage and is not affected by the effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. This allows you to hit through stuff like Miltank, for example. And 100 is like 10 short of what you need to knock out a Miltank, but otherwise, this is the deck's only option really to counter Miltank. Some other Pokemon in the deck, we've got Bibarel to draw cards up to 5 in your hand. Crobat, which when you put it on the bench, lets you draw up to 6. We've got Lumineon to grab a supporter once you put this on the bench. And a Pumpkaboo, which you will use to knock a stadium out of play. And in terms of stadiums you play, you'll be playing 4 copies of Path to the Peak. You really want to shut down abilities as much as you can. After you get Star Birth, you don't need to use them anymore, so you want to lock your opponent down for the rest of the game. And in tandem, this deck also runs 4 Marnie, so you can play Path to the Peak and then Marnie, leaving a lot of decks stranded without abilities and with a fresh set of cards, which may or may not mess them up. There are definitely times where you will win games just because you played the Marnie Path combo. Some other includes from a item perspective, we've got 1 Evo Incense, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Quick Ball, 1 Ordinary Rod in case you need to get something back, and one of the interesting includes here, Ondrej ran 4 copies of Boss's Orders, which actually came in handy during the final match where he just needed that last Boss's Orders to win the game. And because he runs such a high count of Boss's Orders, he was able to get the boss and win the game. And then in terms of energy splits, we've got 4 Double Turbo, 1 Capture Energy to help you set up your board a little wider, and then 4 Electric and 4 Lightning Energy, and 3 Fighting Energy. All right, let's showcase what this deck can do. Oh, it's I Wish for Fish again. This is the person who knocked us out with knocked out the Lumineon for me, punishing me putting down that Lumineon that did nothing. So hopefully we can get our... How... We've been bricking really bad these last few games with the starting hand against Ice Rider, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good one bit. Okay. Can we get an Arceus here? No, we don't get an Arceus here. This is It's not entirely the worst. Not entirely the worst. At least we have the evolution. We can attach a double turbo and we can attack for 140, which is better than nothing. And they won't be able to retaliate with a one-hit KO in a best case scenario. That's nice that they put Path to the Peak down. And actually, this isn't entirely the worst, because what we can do here is we can at least hit for 140 and force them to have the Wombo combo. Unfortunately, this is going to take 3 hits to KO this Ice Rider because of how poorly we have drawn, but better than nothing. I guess the counter argument here is that they still have 3 Sobbles, so it's not even... It's still bad. It's still bad. They will Professor's Research their entire hand away, so they're probably not getting an attack off this turn. They will go and run the train on the Drizziles here, though. They're gonna have to get into VMAX. Hopefully we can get a Marnie or something. Oh! Okay, they must have something here. Okay, they'll get down a second Ice Rider. I don't hate that. I don't hate that for them. But are they just... And there's the Professor's Research. Nice sequencing. And they're just gonna... Oh, they can't pierce because it's a basic Pokemon! I'm still kind of boned here. I can take the 2 prizes, but I don't have anything else going on other than Flying Pikachu. Okay, there we go. This is something. This is something. Path to the Peak being stuck in the active is not nice, but it's better than nothing. Well, no, it's not better than nothing. It's not entirely the worst. They do have Melanie, so they're gonna hit for... They're probably gonna land the... They're gonna hit for a lot. At least put Flying Pikachu in 2-hit KO territory. So it's really important for us to get something set up here. Unfortunately, are we getting... We have to go into Arceus at this point. Why do we have all the V-Stars and none of the Vs? This is crazy. So we will grab Arceus, and hopefully they don't have Boss in hand, because that is a problem too if they boss up this Arceus and just knock it out. And yeah, we're gonna need Bibarel to do some work here. Maybe benching... No, I did have to bench those. And they're probably going to discard some stuff here. They're going to discard everything? Yeah, they're going to discard everything. All right, well... Ooh. Oh, yeah, let's not play the Lumineon this time while Path to the Peak is out, because that's not going to do anything of value for us. And I think we set up a second Arceus, and... I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay with Raihan in hand. If we don't get Marnied here, I don't think they will. They're probably gonna want to play like a Melanie or something instead. Yeah. Melanie and Scoop. Yeah. Okay, at least they're not going to gust anything up here. Unfortunately for us, we probably have to Raihan. What are they going to Tool Scrap? Or are they just saving that for later? Okay, they're saving it for later. I guess they're assuming we have a Big Charm or something to that extent. Okay, this is still... All right, friends, you have some studying. All right, later, Idawat. Thank you for dropping by. This is not ideal, and their hand is 1,000,000,000 cards tall or long. And I could Marnie to try and get something going here. I'm going to Industrious Incisors here, see what we have. That's not going to be good enough. I really want a... Let's attach here, and we'll grab a double turbo. And let's go and smash. And we have to pray that they don't have... Unfortunately, this path to the peak is really messing us up here. Okay, we do have boss. We do have boss. Okay. They have 1,000,000,000 cards. We have 1,000,000,000 cards. If they get there, I'm going to assume they just go Choice Belt and knock out this Arceus. But we have, as long as we don't get Marnied, we're fine. Oh, we get Roxanne. That's even worse. Okay. We do have Bibarel here, which does kind of act as a defense for us here. But, oof. Okay, we got boss. Thank goodness. Oh, Roxanne is a lie. We'll take that. Oh my goodness. We got Roxanne into... We only needed that one card. We only needed that one card. But we'll take it. Okay. And just to be on the safe side, we're going to draw a couple more cards. And we're going to boss up this Sobble and take the game. GG's. Oh my goodness. That we got so lucky there. Being able to boss, get boss off that Roxanne was crazy. We so lucky that we lost it and got it back. I think that even with the bad start, Flying Pikachu very much saved our bacon there, being able to at least get some initial damage in on the Ice Riders so that we were able to keep pace. Losing that second Arceus, or losing that Arceus, was bad, but we were able to have that second Arceus ready to go. Luckily, we're able to have that boss, and we got our revenge on that one. GG's. The other deck I was trying to squeeze in here, if we had time, was the new way to play Mew VMAX. How do they know they can't win? Okay, this is an excellent question. So they are running a Mew VMAX deck, and Mew VMAX works. It requires a particular... So they have Mew and Genesect. Genesect is their primary way to draw cards. It has an ability that lets you draw cards equal to the number of Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. However, this card right here, Path to the Peak, shuts off all abilities on Pokemon that have a rule box, which includes Pokemon V, VMAX, V-Star, Radiant Pokemon. And at that point, they didn't have any cards, and they were stuck with just... They were stuck with just the Mew and Genesect, no energy, no evolutions, and they figured that they weren't going to be able to counter the Path of the Peak, so they just gave up. Okay, let's get Flying Pikachu. Actually, do we even want Flying Pikachu in this match? I don't know if Flying Pikachu actually helps us here or hurts us, because Flying Pikachu gives up 3 prizes. I think we just go Arceus straight up. And we go into... Let's go Starbirth. Let's get ourselves a Bibarel, and we'll grab an Arceus V-Star for next turn. And we could boss up this Eternatus. Actually, I think we do. We can take the KO. Do we take the KO on the... I think we take the KO onto the Crobat first. Take a 2-prize lead. And just keep it simple. And then we've got boss for other stuff later. So there we go. We'll take 2 prizes. We've got them locked down in path again. Well, this time they're locked in path. And so, your dad Bort, this is another deck that relies heavily on abilities. Eternatus is a deck that the VMAX has the ability where it expands the bench up to 8 and it does a certain amount of damage based on the number of Pokemon in play. However, if that Path to the Peak is out, they can't reach those numbers and the bench gets cut to 5 and they can't hit as hard as they normally would. They knocked out our Path to the Peak, so potentially they could go into Eternatus VMAX, but we do have Path here again. Oh, they will go into Eternatus. Here we go. Yes, Eternal Zone. So it'll expand the bench to 8, and then they can bench a whole bunch of stuff, and they'll do a whole bunch of damage based on the number of Pokemon here. So it's going to be 30 times the number of dark Pokemon on the bench, and 30, 60, 90. This can hit for up to 270 normally. Ooh, they've got the Umbreon in there too. This and Great Balls. Huh. Okay. And Pikachu actually... Oh, you know what? Decidueye actually would have been good here. I don't know if I have any more Dark Energy or if I have a Decidueye VSTAR, because Decidueye would one-hit KO stuff. I should have played that first. Okay. Let's see if we can get that going. I think we only need 1 Fighting Energy to get Decidueye up and running. So let's see what we can do. This is going to hit really hard, but it's not going to knock us out. Thank goodness. Dread End. And we could knock out another Crobat here, but I'm not sure if that's worth it at this point in time. And we just go up 4 prizes? Or do we try and... Yeah, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. We will swing into this Crobat, and we will lock them down with Path to the Peak again, and cut their bench down. Now they're going to have to discard back down to 5, and we'll swing. Take the 4 prize lead. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was a massive mistake. Oh, there's my Fighting Energy. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. All part of the plan. All part of the plan. Okay. So we only need... If we can get a boss's orders, we can just win. I'm actually going to get rid of all this stuff. We don't need it. We don't need it for the rest of this game. We do get the Evo Incense, which is fantastic. Do we have Decidueye in the deck? Yes, we do. And we will swing into this Eternatus for 200 damage. We will charge up Decidueye, and if they don't Marnie us, we've got game in hand. Is your deck that cemented good? So, your dad Bort, I'm actually playing the deck that just won the World Championships this year. Does it make it like the best deck in the world? Like, maybe. And again, yeah, I'm not taking credit for this particular deck build. This was the Ondrej Skubal deck who won the World Championships, and we're just showcasing his deck today. And they lose. GG's. Path to the Peak really shut down that Eternatus there. We love to see that. I know Eternatus is definitely not the powerhouse it used to be, but we'll take some Path to the Peak wins and show that, yeah, even with Path out, once you have your Star Birth, you throw down Path, you're pretty much good to go. So we'll take that. GG's. All right, bad first hand. Didn't like that one bit. All right, much better starting hand. Let's just bench the Arceus for now, and then we can figure out if we need to use Decidueye here at all. I have a feeling no. I'm guessing this is the Cleaver coin flip deck. And when it comes to coin flips, there's not too much you can do about those. The coin flips are just kind of erratic as is. Let's go and actually run... do we bench the second Arceus here? I think we might. If it is... Oh, hold on. Cleaver's gonna hit Flying Pikachu for weakness. So let's not do that. Although Flying Pikachu is gonna cough up 3 prizes. So that might be bad too. Let's see what we're up against. You know, it might not be Cleaver at all. Maybe they just really like the Cleaver coin. Okay, they will play Battle VIP Pass. And we'll see what we're up against. Okay. Oh. Okay. I see. This is the Shedinja deck, isn't it? Yep. Okay. So there's a couple of ways we can pick this off. The Trubbish is a problem, because the Trubbish is going to add the poison that allows this to one-hit KO everything. Shedinja is not in the deck at the moment. We will play Boss to get... We'll knock out the Ditto to start. Actually, yeah, the Flying Pikachu would stop this entirely. It should stop this entirely. They do get the Shedinja down, and... What do we want to play next? Yeah, in my head, I think I want to knock out the Ditto, because then they would also be down an attacker, plus they need to accelerate all that energy, which I don't think they're going to be able to do on the next turn. They do get an Yveltal, though, and that's annoying. And they're running a Collapse Stadium, too. Okay, so Yveltal's not entirely the worst, because... Sure, they can knock out the Arceus, but it's not the end of the world for us. So we'll go Flying Pikachu into a boss, I guess. Yeah, I want to knock out this Ditto. And we could even Marnie here, but I really want to make them lose their primary attacker off the rip. And then we can figure out how to get Arceus out of the active later once they do their Yveltal thing. Although Yveltal is kind of squandered potential there too. We do get a Marnie. That's great. Because yeah, the problem with the Yveltal is that it doesn't do any damage, and they would just be... They could ultimately just make themselves one turn shorter. Okay, they get rid of it completely. So we don't have to worry about that anymore, which is awesome. We do get another Ditto. This deck runs 4 Boss's Orders, so if that's the only attacker they can get down, we should still be sitting pretty. At which point, maybe we put down this Arceus and charge that up too, and just say that's... we probably would prefer to have Flying Pikachu set up as the second attacker, and then they can't... Then we stop their everything. Okay, we'll do that. Hopefully it's a thing we can get done. Also, this is my dream card, in case anyone's wondering. This is my ultimate card. The only booster box I've ever bought was Chilling Reign. partially because it was the set that had just come out at that time, but also because Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon, as you can see, and as you can see here, with the big Snorlax, he's playing games with us always. My all-time favorite Pokemon, and I would love to get this card someday. It's an expensive card though, unfortunately, so that's held me off for some time. Okay, they still don't have a way of accelerating. Oh, there it is. So only 2 attachments there. Yeah, there's usually like a Cherim here that also does stuff. Okay, let's go and grab Boss. I would like to play the Crobat. Let's go and actually we'll play Boss here. Now we'll play the... I'm putting too many vulnerable targets on the bench, and I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments for that. Do we? But oh, I should have put the Flying Pikachu down. That was the goal. Putting the Arceus down was dumb. Flame away, YouTube. Flame away. Now I have more than enough targets to get knocked out. Thank you. The NC, that's a really long name. Thank you so much for the follow. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, I have goofed this to a serious... I mean, we're still up 2 prizes. We're probably going to get another knockout here. I could have played this more optimally, though, for sure. This should have been a Flying Pikachu instead. If anything, not even. Dan? Okay. Well, welcome, Dan. How are you? And Peppy, welcome to the stream. How are you both doing? Kamusta? Hello to you, too. I can't speak Tagalog, but yes, I am Filipino. I was born and raised in Canada. I've only been to the Philippines once when I was 11 years old for 3 weeks. I've never, I know I've only picked up a little bit from, what I picked up from family in passing. That's it. By chance, are you also Filipino? They do have a whole whack of cards here. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Streaming, living the dream, playing some Pokemons. And we've been playing with the World Championship deck, which for the most part has been serving us very well. Now, they do get a whole bunch of stuff, and they're gonna get the poison down, and that's kind of a problem. So we'll have to figure out how to manage that, especially since they got some double turbo energy down. Or that's twin energy, isn't it? I think it's twin. It's darker. Yep. Because they can still win this in spite of their poor start and everything. So we'll have to find a route that works a little better for us. And the Collapse Stadium, actually, Peppy, thank you so much for the follow. Collapse Stadium might actually help us here in that they don't get to run a big bench either, so we'll just stick with that. Unfortunately, we're most likely going to lose Arceus here. And now I'm starting to get concerned that we may not be able to keep up in the prize race. We still have to knock out 3 more of these Dittos, or knock out something. The Garbodor, actually, you know what? Path might help us here in that without a stadium in play, they can't get the poison off. So that is, oh no, they're gonna get the chain going now, aren't they? Darn it. Okay, so what we can do is play Path. We'll Marnie here, and let's try and get a Pumpkaboo down so we can get rid of the poison. The poison is a big problem going forward for us. because now they're going to do plus 10, and now we get one hit KO'd. That's awful. You're for Filipino, and you're right here, right now. Awesome. Okay, there's the Pumpkaboo. There's the Pumpkaboo. Please tell me you're not prized. Please tell me you're not prized. There it is. Yes, knock that stadium out of play. And let's Marnie here. Get that out. And hopefully we can draw into some... Was hoping to draw into something better there. But hopefully that is enough to stall for time. Oh, I should have put down a Bibarel here so we can draw more cards, because that's actually been a problem. Oh, I also could have just gone into... I should have just gone into Flying Pikachu this whole time. Okay. Well, I should have went in... No, I should have went to Flying Pikachu the last time around. That was a huge mistake on my part. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, they do have the escape rope for the Flying Pikachu scenario, so they are prepared for that. At least they were prepared for that. I don't think they have the stadium, though. If they don't have the stadium, then we're kind of laughing at this point. Yeah, they really need the one-hit KO right now if they want to win this match. Pumpkaboo saving the day? Perhaps. Perhaps this is why this is why they're stalling. This has actually been more of an interesting match than I thought it would be, and I definitely could have played this better. They will get a Dark Pokemon and an Energy. That's a great way of guaranteeing their twin Energy, because it doesn't specify... Oh, okay, just a Water, sure. And they probably didn't need the Liepard. They're just thinning their deck. Okay, the $1 million question is, do you have the stadium, yes or no? If you have the stadium, you can win this. If you do not have a stadium, you lose. You lose. Well, okay, that might be a bit harsh. They may still have the juice, right? If they knock out... Let's Trinity Nova here. I guess there's some combination of like poisoning two things and then getting the win. Okay, let's see. They've got to accelerate 3 energy here. I guess they could poison this and then gust something up. I don't know. And they're gonna put the cape on the... I think they're still short. I think they're still short. Even if they get a stadium here. Well. Let's see. I think, yeah, they are exhausting all of their options here. Oh, if they had... I think if they had a second Trubbish and then they scoop this up and then put it there, because they're going to need 2 instances of poison to win. Unless they have... Okay, they throw down Path. Maybe they play like a... Let's see. Let's see what they do. But yeah, I should have went into Flying Pikachu sooner, and that would have solved all my problems. And they played Raihan, so this is GG's. They out here trying their... Yeah, because Life Squeeze isn't going to do anything at this point. They might play Block Face or something, but I think this is done. Oh, there it is. There's the poison. They're going to take 2 prizes here, and they can't gust anything else. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just went into the Flying Pikachu and taken game that way. I thought they were going to attack. We'll take it. GG's. we escaped. Oh, we escaped that one, and I think they just had a tough break there. The Pumpkaboo ended up saving us, where they just couldn't get the poison off for that one turn, and that saved everything. Otherwise, we would have lost. And I made some really bad plays there. In particular, once the first Arceus went down, I really should have just went into Flying Pikachu and then just stalled. In my head, I was scared about Pikachu coughing up 5 prizes, but I didn't think about Flying Pikachu being able to block off basics. Now, they kind of had some tech in there. We can look at their deck list. Of course they're hiding their deck list. They had at least one escape rope in there, and so we know that they had thought about the situation, and they could have used a escape rope to get Flying Pikachu out of the active, bring Ditto back in, hit with something else. But this time we were able to skate away with a win there, so we'll take it. GG's.